before we get started, I'm gonna cut us some fruit and I'm gonna head outside. But the sponsor for today's video is me, because in the future, that's what it's gonna sound like when we do get a sponsor. It's rotten. It's honestly a bit bland. I'm gonna eat it anyways. It's not that bad. It's so soft that a spoon will go through it. It's very watery though, cause my mom, she made us a smoothie and she said she put banana and mango cause it was so sweet. And she said she put mango in it, but I think it's the banana that made it sweet. And my voice is still healing a little bit, so I'm gonna just crank up the audio. Like, it's so juicy inside. So I'm gonna just finish this as my afternoon snack and I'll head outside where all the sunlight is because it's so beautiful today. Guys, so we had to backtrack a little bit. I was just like making mangoes for my sister too, but then the Amazon package came. So the horn is here. So I might just install this real quick, let y'all hear the test, and then we'll get back to the video. Hey guys, I also just wanted to add this disclaimer that this video, or me in general, I don't intend to make anyone feel small or try to have like any malicious intent. So take what I say with like a grain of salt, and that just know this is just my emotions or opinions for that specific moment, and opinions can change and they're not set in stone. Hey guys, so I'm currently in the backyard and then Melon decided to follow me. Look at her. She's just laying there. But let me go grab my jacket because I'm a bit cold. So this video that I wanted to make today was just basically like my personal journey and how I could maybe like help someone. But it's about being in isolation. Oh, I keep smacking because I need a cough drop. But let me keep in mind I have a cough drop. Okay, so this video is not scripted. It's just I'm just talking out of my own brain. So I don't know what it's gonna end up being like. But basically, I wanted to talk about dependency and how we don't need anyone. And y'all probably know that as well, because we're smart enough as humans. But especially in the nighttime, whenever things get like dark, it's easier for us to forget. And like, it's easier for us to forget that we're not alone, because they say we're not alone, but we have all of this like nature and animals around us and all this spiritual energy, if you guys believe in that as well. And if you don't, that is okay. That just do whatever makes you happy. And I'm about living in your authentic truth and balancing out like the logic with your heart, because we still have to live in this. If you live in like in the Western world where you need like more money, or you're more dependent on money to live. But besides that, that's not what the point of this video is. About uplifting your spirits. And there's gonna be a lot of pausing because I need to think, because this is the first time I've ever did something like this before. During these couple of weeks, I've been trying to find someone, like a relationship, and it's been going downhill. And I got scammed. I didn't get scammed because I learned from experience, because I almost got scammed from this career thing. And then these guys on the dating app talked so similarly to this guy on the career offer that I got. So then I knew something was off. But besides the about to get scammed thing, they talk about, I just want to mention this. If anyone talks about trust, building a relationship, F them. They're not there for you. They're gonna try to ask for money. And their little things, they're so stupid, because you could tell they're not from America. Like, they don't write how we write, because everything that they have, their responses are like pre-made and they text really quick, which is something off. And they steal photos from other people to make it more realistic. And they try to sympathize with you, but don't fall for that. Because then all they want is money. If they say anything about finances, career, something so close to finances, red flag immediately, because they want your money. But besides that, it's because it went downhill because I saw this one dude and I liked him because I thought I could gain a sense of security through him. But then that's when I lost it because the next day at work, whenever he didn't respond, I felt like so down. And then I was watching this other girl of how she's like the power of letting go. It is by Wizardliz. And the other guy, he's like something Simon Robbie. But I'll go pause this video in a little bit and try to look him up. But he was also an inspiration within this recent week because I watched all of that and like everything is just a coincidence because I failed through my I don't fail. These are mistakes, or I don't know how to put it, but these are learning lessons basically, and they're negative. But I just find it so interesting how we get recommended these videos, or like we have these things pop up in our life that teaches us how to cope with the results or these events. And then Wizard Liz, she also talked about the power of letting go. And then whenever I was watching her video during work, because when I was in work I was so sad. I was not in it, and I knew I couldn't be like that because I'm working where I had to interact with people and I can't be rude to people. And even if I'm having a bad day, I wouldn't want someone to be rude to me. Like, I understand we have our own personal issues, but for the most part I try to be a positive person to outsiders. But for me internally, that's a different story, because when you self-isolate, it could go on for too long and it could be unhealthy. It's like, I saw this thing on Instagram, it was like, I don't know if it's Instagram, but on social media, it's like whenever you unplug for too long and now you can't plug it back in. That's me. So I'm trying to find my way to plug back in and be more like an active member of society without feeling anxious, or maybe it's not my it's not my responsibility, or it's not like in my lifetime to be around people all the time, and it's okay if I self-isolate, and then Melon's trying to bite the wires. She's literally so cute. Like, I'm not a cat person, but she's like affectionate but so mischievous at the same time, and I love nature. This video is so messy. It's basically a venting video. It's like talking about the root cause, like wanting a relationship, and also the isolation, because I'm trying to be my own person and work for my own self. That's my personal dream, and in doing that you kind of have to carve your own path, and it gets lonely because your friends don't really understand. And not even that, like, as you grow up, you just grow out of who they are because they don't match with your current self, and it's hard because you want to justify keeping them. But then whenever they text you, I could tell like their energy is off. And the thing is, people, oh she's freaking biting the wire. Oh my god, Melon. And then they say hard conversations aren't necessary, but I had a hard conversation. I had two friends where I had a hard conversation with. I don't really mind the first one because the first one I actually wanted to let go of the relationship. The second one I was trying to help build because I just wanted them to know that my true feelings, and I actually cared more for the second relationship. But I still talk to them here and there, but whenever I talk to them, I notice the energy's off, that it seems fake, or it seems like it's like they disconnected. Like, ever since that has been brought up, it's not been the same. Like the spark is not there anymore. So that's why hard conversations, in my opinion, they're necessary, but there are people who, whenever we bring up a situation, it doesn't result in what theoretically should happen. And Melon, for some reason, she likes licking, which I'm so happy for, because not a lot of cats like to lick. And she's such a curious cat. Oh yeah, and this video is about being better than Heather. Yes, we are better than Heather. We don't have to compete with other people because that's their own game. We're our own game. Compete with yourself. How can you +1? Because this other video I watched too, he's talking about actions that we go through every day. It's either +1 or -1. But I want to add to that. I think we have a neutral decision as well. So just progress in that way, just +1, and everything is about balance and realizing that yes, it's important to pursue your own dreams, but sometimes we need a slap of reality, because it honestly isn't that serious, because we could all end tomorrow. And there's gonna be people thinking like they have it harder than me, or I'm just talking out of my butt because I'm privileged. And yes, everyone, for me, I have certain privileges, and everyone, there might be people even more. Oh my god, I just realized it wasn't even recording. But I was talking about privilege, and how people who have it harder than me might say that I'm just talking out of my. But if you think about it, you right now, if you supposedly think that you have it harder, I'm not questioning it, because I like to live with less judgment as possible. But if most people, I think that their anger stems from insecurity. But think about it, even if you're less privileged than me, if you take it too seriously every day, what's the point? Whenever you die, no one's gonna remember you. And even if you were something, you're gonna be forgotten anyways. So that's why I try to live as authentically as possible. She's literally biting me. And there's a couple exercises that we could think about. It's like breathing exercises. There's this other video that I watched. It's like, there's like these 4 affirmations. I love myself, I trust myself. It's something else, but the one that stuck to me was I trust myself. Every day, you might not be doing anything that you deem productive, but you trust yourself. It's everything that's happening, it's gonna be for your greater good. And whenever you breathe, you breathe in for 7 seconds, you hold for 3, and you let go. You let go. Whenever you let go, you have like the little intention or like imagination that is going to your heart. And even if it's not, like, you keep practicing until you feel like it's inside your heart. And you breathe, whenever you exhale, it's going to your heart. Whenever you say that word, you feel it within your heart. And if you don't, you just keep on repeating it until one day you feel it. It's like this. Like, you breathe. Like, let's start. Like, well, it was kind of hard there because I was like focusing on the video, but that's the point. And there are some days where I feel like I go back and I end up texting them back. But for some reason, my situation is different. It's not an ex. I've never dated anyone, so it's more like a situationship. Or it's not even a situationship. It's literally a situationship in my own head. We're basically friends. But she's biting me so... Oh my god, it hurts. Oh my god, she's hurting me so much. Yeah, this video is not as long as I thought it would be. It's probably because I'm overthinking it too, because I don't want to like be vulnerable like 100% because I don't want to get roasted. But yeah, confidence is also what confidence is. It's built up over time. You just start giving less F's as you grow up. Let me look at the notes and see what other things I need to go over. Oh yeah, and I wanted to mention, whenever I hear cars, I don't really care because I'm a car guy. So, and it's also, this other point is living with less judgment, because I feel like people who judge too quickly, they are full of insecurity and anger and frustration, and that's something that's need to be dealt with inside. Because yeah, we're all entitled to our own emotions, and our emotions are valid, but they are not right. And it's okay to have your own opinion, but sometimes it is not necessary to post about it or to like speak upon it, because it does more damage. And people, they try to vent, but I don't know. There's like a fine line between venting and complaining, or like being like too negative. But I don't know, there might be an audience for anything online. Oh yeah, and the other point is, we're all work in progress. Like younger, I love the idea of perfection, but as of now, perfection is like is in the background. But that doesn't mean my work ethic is poor. I still want to do work to the best of my ability, but perfection and having consistent, like perfect, like to the definition of, oh wait, everyone has a different definition. I mean, to make it extreme, like tight tolerance every single time. I don't need that. That's just unnecessary stress. So we're a work in progress, and another thing is that the power of letting go is important, because people are volatile. Our emotions are volatile, even within our own family. Like, say I'm happy this day and I want to celebrate, but then other people around my family, they're like sad that day because they're dealing with their own stuff. And that sucks for me, because the thing is, I want to celebrate, but then I can't celebrate with them because they're not in the mindset of celebration. They need to grieve their own problems. So see, that's why you have to depend on your own self. And it's a little sad because you want to share your life and your life's events and moments with someone to make it feel special. But it's either we find someone that's similar to us, or we just do more inner work until the point where we just accept it and we could celebrate on our own. And in the future, I want you guys to like comment your own like personal problems, and then we could just like talk about it. Because it's interesting, because we all are human and we have similar issues relating to a specific topic, and it all falls within a spectrum. Like, someone might have it worse, or no, we all have different outlooks. And also, I find happiness or gratitude in being alone, because when I'm around people, especially like in my area or like any area that's developed, I find that people tend to be on edge, thinking it's a competition. Like, I walk around, people, there's either like neutral or you're mad or like angry. I need to stop wrinkling my thing. This is gonna be so bad. Like, they're so mad. They just walk with like a bitch face, and I'm like, I'm just here. Like, I, especially at the gym, I see a lot of like kind of mean people. But I try to be smiley. It's like kind of hard to be um to have like a kind interaction. But it depends on your environment, because in the gym, I feel like people are more on edge, because how I think about it is, and take this with a grain of salt, it's not always going to be the same. They might think that they're all that, so they put up this front to show that they're I almost choked. They put up this front that they're all that, to kind of like scare people off. But I try not to. I do accidentally. I feel like I do have a bitch face, but whenever I look at someone, I'm not like that. Used to be the old me. But then as I looked at back at my old photos, I'm like, that's literally so ugly. So I try to stay neutral or smiley. And I'm working on my people skills too, because I love the idea of catching up like a little conversation with a stranger. She looks so elegant, just staring, like just standing there. I mean, just laying there. And like she just plays by herself. So itchy right here. Try not to itch it. I wanted to tell you guys about this. If you love someone and they're going through depression, I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell that they're going through depression, but if you find out someone's gonna take them to a psych ward in the hospital, don't do it. For one, it's really expensive, and for one, the thing is not about the cost. Cost is something if it's worth it, but this is not worth it. Because from my personal, what I hear from my relative who had an experience, they said it's like a jail, it's like a prison. There's no windows, and then even on the itinerary that we got, they don't do like there's no like painting day, or there's no like journaling. There's none of that. And then the food and stuff is bare minimum, and it's not even good. And they don't treat you like human, because I guess like their idea is like they're mentally insane, but my family member was not mentally insane. They just needed a friend. And then for in the instance of depression, no one is to blame. You can't really know if someone's depressed until something results from it. Cause it's a silent thing that happens. So if you guys are going through it, then I hope you're able to find something that grounds you. Like especially nature. I love nature. Like just go out and get some sunlight. You need that vitamin D. Just get yourself something. Treat yourself to something. And if you can't say I love myself, then just think about yourself in terms of like your own little baby. Like you. Just look at yourself as your younger self. You would not want to beat up that child. And if you do, I don't know. It's hard for me to view it that way, but I don't think you're gonna view it that way either. Because there's something within that heart that has compassion. Enough compassion for you. So I hope whoever is dealing with depression has some type of like outlet they could reach out to, because I also heard like the suicide intervention is not that great either. So if you have the chance, or you have the opportunity to talk to a special friend, or a friend who really like you feel safe with, then, or a family member or anyone, and if not, you could have like a fish, pets. But I think the easiest thing is going out into nature. Maybe just, I wouldn't say driving somewhere like hiking, because that's kind of, in my opinion, I feel like I would only hike where there's like a lot of people, because you could hurt yourself. You could end up getting hurt, and you don't want that. You wanna, I think so what I do is I bought this membership at the Dallas Arboretum. It's a bit pricey, but if you really love nature, you have to get it because it's like 100 something, but it's for the whole year. And they also have like a cross thing where if um a lot of the arboretums though, I said if they do it, but a lot of arboretums they have like this participating program where if you buy it from one, like I bought it from Dallas, but I could use it in Fort Worth, I could use it in the arboretum all across the US. I don't know, there's most likely this type of program in other countries as well, but I live in the US. And the gardens are so beautiful. Like my sister, she used my car to go to the Fort Worth one. It's not beautiful. Even during this time of year, it's like February right now. But Dallas, they do something. They know how to take care of their garden. But one day I'll go there and record like a scenic and maybe do like a voiceover. Like she's coming back to bite me again. Oh my god. We got a tracking device though. My brother bought it for her. Look, she's like so freaking crazy. Well, okay. Oh my god, oh my god. Okay, so I just want to conclude that yes, we are better than Heather. If they're dating someone else, if they're hanging out with someone else, so what? We have the power within ourselves to let go. Because in the end of the day, we have to deal with our own SHIT, our own problems. They're not going to help us. And then we have to realize, we have to have like a flick of a switch to realize that no one's coming to save us. We all want to fantasize about someone coming to rescue us, but we need to rescue ourselves. We're literally drowning. Have some self-respect. Because when you think about it, we go to work, we go to school, we do these things on time because we respect whoever's running that. But whenever we set our own deadline, including me as well, we're less likely to accomplish it. So, with practice, with anything, practice discipline, practice letting go, and just ground yourself. Because whenever you ground yourself, there's honestly no need for anything anymore. But then I also watch this thing where it's like if you ground yourself to the point where you don't need anything, then there's honestly no need to live. Because whenever you reach that point of like, I think it's called nirvana or something, you don't want anything. You don't want a career. You don't want anything. Finances, you're just content with who you are. And at that point, I'm not being negative, but there's no point to continue. And I hope it's not going the wrong way. Because I just don't want you guys to go to that extreme. Just ground yourself and just treat yourself and just be nice. And we all know we're smart enough to balance. I know we are. And if you don't, you are. You just are doubting yourself. But other than that, I'm gonna end this video here. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.